This right here isn't consistency. I mean, sometimes it can be, but if you're like me, a lot of the times our consistency is going to look like this. And as much as we want it to look like the top here, it's just not the case. And if there's one thing I know, it's that consistency isn't about showing up perfectly every single day. Consistency, what I'm learning, is showing up at your best every day for years. And I want to emphasize two parts of that in today's video. First part I want to mention is at your best and what our best may look like. I'm all for doing what's required in order to succeed. Yes, we can do what's required over time, but in the subset of days that it takes to get to that goal, a lot of the times like we aren't going to be doing our absolute best in our perfect job. Like the days in between that are going to be different. They're going to be different. I think that's what I'm getting at. And I think the funny thing about the all or nothing mindset is it's something we use to try to attain something or to fix something about us, but it's actually the very thing that's keeping us stuck. And that reminds me of a quote I heard from Chris Williamson, which is, the stress of trying to be perfect is killing you more than your imperfections. And what that means is, or at least what it's pulling us towards, is embrace imperfect action. No matter what it is, instead of stopping or overthinking or just overthinking the next step, embrace imperfect action. Embrace acting imperfectly, whether it's at your best or not at your best. Like, embrace the action part. And so we should do that, because this all or nothing mindset that we carry is killing us. It's killing us more than any of our imperfections ever could. Yes, some days will seem great. They'll be amazing, absolutely amazing, and that's okay. And some days will seem absolutely trash. They'll be terrible, and that's okay too. Because showing up either way every single day for years is how you win. That's what I'm learning, at least. Like, obviously I'm young, I'm 21. A lot of this, I'm learning, was it learning secondhand, I think? Like, just learning from other people and the people I look up to. And so, one, I don't want to come across as like, okay, I'm this authority. Even now, like, I feel like I've been talking as if I'm an authority, and I'm not. So I don't want to, like, in some areas I can be, but for this, I'm trying to really just be humble in this, because at least what I'm realizing from the people that I look up to is that the imperfect action for years, like that part, that key part, for years, I'm noticing like 90 to 95% of the people I look up to and follow online, these people are either in their late 20s or in their 30s. Like, they are much older than I am, or we may think. And that's something I didn't always like realize. That for the people we look up to, oftentimes there's something about them that reminds us of us. There we go. I think that's a better way to say it. And like, we can see ourselves in them. But oftentimes that can be, we can almost see ourselves in them too much and forget like how different of a path that they're on, the different journey that they're on, the different season that they're in. Because what they're doing right now is not, and probably shouldn't be, what I should be doing right now. And that's just how it is. Like, there's two different seasons of life. It may be cool to think of an Alex Hormozy as being like me in a sense, or me being like him, but in reality I'm not, in almost every facet of life. In some ways I am just a much younger version. And so I have to remember that these people, let me just condense that, because I'm talking like Jordan Peterson. I say all that to say, like, we have to remember the people that we look up to, they're much farther ahead, and they had to take time. Like, it took time for them to get to where they are. And in the same way, it's likely going to take time for us to get to where we are. This doesn't mean that there aren't exceptions to the rule, and there aren't people that can achieve goals like super fast. That is not what I'm saying. But for the majority of the time, like, generally speaking, it's going to take a lot of time. I can even list names like, probably, who's the most popular? Mr. Beast. Like, even Mr. Beast, he's 26. Like, he was on YouTube for many years before he ever saw success. And it took a lot of time. It took hundreds of videos before he really got to see the success. The time part is what I'm getting at. People I look up to, like Ruslan, he's 40. Tom Nosk, he's 28, I think. Mr. Beast, 26, like I said. My personal mentor, Dion Williams, you may know him as I'm Maverick. He just turned 35 like 3 days ago. Happy birthday to him, but like, this just, you get what I'm saying here? Like, there's just sometimes we forget, like, we us young people, like, we have people we look up to, and we want these goals, and we have these dreams and visions that we want to pursue, but we forget, like, okay, the patience part, it's so important, and we often underestimate how much time and volume it takes to be successful. We think, okay, like, yeah, I can get this, I can get to this place in a certain amount of years, or we have the certain timetables as to what it will look like. Um, and that's not to say like vision is bad to have, but like, we can have goals, but our goals can't have us. And we have to realize, like, this stuff is going to take time, and we have to be, well, it's it would be so much better for us if we learn to be patient along the journey instead of trying to rush it, instead of hating where we are and being regretful and needing to reach a certain place for us to finally be happy. Like, that's a cycle for disaster. But like, when we can, what I'm learning, I haven't mastered this, but what I'm learning is, again, I say this all the time, but if we can learn to be patient and present and just content and at peace with where we are today, and allow that peace to pull us forward into a better future, that's what's going to, that's where the magic happens. But that starts with accepting um, where we are today and being patient with where we are, and then pushing forward over time. Alex Hormozi defines patience as doing something in the meantime. This isn't saying, oh, I'm going to be patient and just do nothing and sit back and be slothful and be lazy. Like, no, patience is like, it's like, it's like, this isn't the best analogy or description, but sometimes I think of it as like a combination of peace and like ambition together. Like, you're at peace, but you're also like pushing forward. It's like, let's say you're waiting for your food. Like, this is something I do, like waiting for my food to heat up. Okay, am I just gonna sit there in front of the air fryer and do nothing? Like, no, I'm probably going to do something else in the meantime. Going to fill up my water, or uh, work on something productive, or scroll social media. I don't know. But in that, like, again, it's doing something in the meantime. And he likes to say, like, it isn't that patience, it's not a question of are you patient or are you not patient. It's a question of how patient are you. That's what Hermosi says. And he likes to see patience as a skill. And the thing about skills is that skills are improvable. And we can see that in, like, we weren't always as patient as we were. We weren't always as confident as we were. We weren't always as kind as we were. There's levels to it. And I think that's how the journey is. Kind of going off track, but to bring it all back, like, patience is something we get better at over time. And I think the journey of becoming more patient can be a form of patience in itself, in a way. It's weird. It's very weird. I'm struggling to explain it. But he also likes to define learning as same condition, new behavior. So like, let's say I have a red card, I slap you with the red card. And then the second time I go, I slap you again. Third time, you duck and I miss. What did you do? You learned. So like, the same condition was me hitting you with the red card, but the new behavior was you finally ducking. And I think, again, it kind of wraps in with patience. It's like, we're doing something in the meantime, and while we're doing something, we're constantly growing, adapting, we're figuring things out as we go. Let's say for this, like videos, like, okay, how can I make a better video? How can I make the hook better? How can I make the message better? How can I package everything better? How can I have better B-roll? How can I tell the story better? It could be in the gym, like, okay, how can I have better form? How can I go into it better rested? How can I eat better afterwards to recover better? How can I better my sleep? There's so many different things, but I think when we're doing something in the meantime, like, let's say the goal is reach a certain amount of pounds, what can I do in the meantime to reach that goal? How can I be patient in that pursuit? And how can I grow over time in that pursuit? Because the more patient I am, the more I'm probably going to learn, and the more likely I am to be confident in that. And I know this is a very Hormozi-filled video, but I think, speaking of confidence, one thing he says is, you don't build confidence by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You build confidence by building up an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. How do I condense that? I don't think I need to. I think it's just, remember, like, it's going to take time, but it's also going to take a lot of work and reps. and getting better over time. And the more you do, the more you get better and learn and figure things out, the more confident you'll become. It's like, how prepared are you? It's not a question of if you're prepared or not. It's like, how prepared are you? How much have you progressed? You can think of it as like, let's say I'm getting ready for a talk. You're getting ready to speak or for a class presentation. Like, how prepared are you? Think about if you had to speak on something you don't really know, like you had to give like some history presentation, like you're probably going to go up in front of that class very, very nervous. But when I think about the best presentations or the easiest presentations I've ever done, it was on things that I already knew. And so again, how prepared was I? I was very prepared because I already knew what to talk about. There can be something like you, let's say you're really into anime and you know everything about Solo Leveling or Vinland Saga. Like if I asked you to give me a presentation or a talk on that, like easy, right? Like you wouldn't be as nervous because or you would be confident or more confident because you're prepared and you know about it. That's the point. Um, and I think if we can learn to, if we can translate that into our lives and be like, okay, how can we learn more and become more confident? It's by doing the things we know we need to do over a long period of time, showing up for ourselves, keeping promises to ourselves. And that undeniable stack of proof is how we pretty much killed out and we are able to become more confident over time. Wow. Okay. That was a lot. I hope this is making sense. But, anyways, to bring it all back together, the more you learn, the more confident you'll become, and the easier patience will get over time. But, but that starts with accomplishing what's in front of you today. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.